Make sure to like and follow the PSP Network on all social media platforms and hit that subscribe button on YouTube. PSP Network. It's game day.
Today, we deliver more wonderful birthdays at Trinity Health Family Birth Center. We offer all new private, family-centered suites. Our maternity team provides more personalized support, advanced care, and the reassurances of a NICU and a neonatologist on staff. Take a virtual tour at trinityhealth.org/Family Birth Center. Trinity Health, making more possible.
If it's fire damage, Agent Fred Iyer. From burnt to unburnt, he does that.
Our history sets us on our path. From the moment we're born, we begin our walk through life. We learn so we can discover. We find our passion and develop our skills. We build relationships. We start thinking about what we're going to leave behind to those we love. Let our legacy help shape yours. First International Bank and Trust. No matter your place in life, we can help you live first.
Great news! If you're looking for a new vehicle, Ryan Family Dealerships has the best selection we've had in years. You'll find fantastic offers from Nissan, Honda, Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, Cadillac, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram.
Hold on! Ryan sells Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram?
Yes, we do, and we'd love to sell one to you. Visit one of our 5 convenient locations in Minot and Williston. Get your next vehicle from a name you know and trust. Ryan Family Dealerships.
That sinking feeling you get when this happens? That's oil change-anxiety. The anxiety of being without a car with a billion things to do. The fear of being overcharged. The stress of not knowing where to go or who to trust. But you never get those feelings at Valvoline Instant Oil Change, where you can watch us work right from your car, and we finish up in about 15 minutes.
We changed your oil and did our 18-point safety check.
Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Service you can see, experts you can trust.
Here at Centennial Collision and Paint, Chad and I have over 60 years combined experience in the field. Not only are we writing estimates, talking with customers, we're in the shop working alongside of our team members.
I've always had a very strong passion for repairing vehicles. I've been doing it since I've been in high school, and I've always enjoyed seeing the vehicle repaired back to the original conditions.
Thank you for the opportunity to serve the Bismarck-Mandan community for the last 7 years. We look forward to expanding into our new addition to better serve our customers, Centennial Collision and Paint.
Hey, happy Saturday morning, Championship Saturday right here on PSP Prime. Thank you for joining us. We are live from the Bismarck Event Center. With me today, the great, the powerful, the amazing Owen Patterson. My name is Dallas Hanson. Thank you for choosing us today. Do not forget about tonight. Everything will be available right on PSP Plus. Go to psp.network to make that purchase. Owen, yesterday was filled of a couple different things. Upsets, blowouts, and just great overall basketball. Let's start off with the upset part of it. A team you've covered a lot, Minot High girls, get upset in the semifinals. They still have a chance at state, so the season's still very much alive. Your thoughts on Minot High girls?
Yeah, I cover them a lot this year, and they've overcome a lot. Every single game has kind of had a little bit of the same story. It hasn't been the blowout wins a lot ever since that second injury to Crew Lamore. Yeah. Every single game has been just a battle for Minot High, and they've gotten over the hump on multiple occasions. But yesterday, Century just kept attacking. They weren't scared of that Minot High team. They never backed down, and they just got over the hump in the end, and Minot High falls a little bit short. That's an upset, but honestly, Dallas, it's what we hype up all season long. We always say, we don't know what's going to happen in the WDA. and then we're shocked when upsets happen. It's like we're contradicting ourselves.
Right.
Last night was exactly what we were expecting going in. Something was going to happen that we weren't expecting, and it was exactly that.
How about the Century boys? How fantastic did they look last night? And Legacy went through some injuries. Granted, Parker Falcon not up to 100%. But, I mean, oh my. They look tough to beat, and they are peaking at the right time.
Yeah, Century looks to be that team where I can't even envision them losing a game the rest of the season. They are playing so in flow, in rhythm. They just seem like they're that team having way too much fun out there on the floor, but it's honestly working out for the best for the Century Patriots. They're just a team that I don't want to get in the way of. But obviously Bismarck High, they will gladly take that chance to step on the championship court with Bismarck Century.
And then our other semifinal game was fantastic as well. A battle of all battles. Minot High and Bismarck High. It was the Andre Austin takeover.
Yeah, 30-point game in the semifinals. That's a pretty nice night for Andre Austin, and you can tell this Bismarck High team, it doesn't matter who you put them up on the floor against, they just want to win. They act like, they look like, they're passionate enough where that game is the most important game of the season. Yeah. It's not just a game to get to the championship. That was their championship last night. Now you get going for the next game, and that's something that could probably wear you out, but what helps is when you play 7 guys, 8 guys off the bench, you can share that workload, and Bismarck High is a fun team to watch come tourney time. They're so passionate about their game.
Did you notice something? Little ways, probably like 5-6 minutes left in the second half. Coach Wilhelm did a little signal, and it was about 5 or 6 possessions in a row where they'd put 2 guys right above the free throw line. It was just Andre Austin isolation. Pick your side and go. Pick your side and go. It was seriously, and he scored 5 or 6 times in a row.
Yeah, you know, in games like that, you got to go to your big guns, I think, and Bismarck High realized that. You know, a lot of the early part of the game, getting everybody involved. You know, I think back to early in the half, you got a guy like Najee Boyd hits a halftime buzzer beater the night before. He steps in, knocks down a big 3. Kalik's hitting threes, but in the end of the game, crunch time, you got to go to the MVP on your team, the guy they believe is the player of the year in the state and the most talented basketball player in North Dakota. So no wonder why he drew that up. He has the confidence in that kid, and Andre sure performed.
What would be reminiscent if we didn't talk about one of the former players that used to play here at the WDA for Bismarck High, Mr. Trayson Eaglestaff, last night for the University of North Dakota, 51 points. Yeah, and that's the most points in the college season, and UND wins with the upset. Go ahead, my friend.
Yeah, South Dakota State, you think of them as kind of the team of March Madness out of the Summit League. Well, their run was a short one, thanks to Trayson Eaglestaff. 51 points in a conference tournament game. I mean, the attention he's gotten, and I think also the attention that, because people, they realize right away he's a North Dakota hooper.
Yep.
So, I mean, the attention that this state has gotten just because of him being a symbol for the state as a whole, that Bismarck High program, it's really been a joy to watch.
Produce. All right, let's get back to the WDA action that we have here tonight. Let's look at our bracket because we've got a lot of great matchups today. Our action starts at 11 a.m. right here on PSP Plus. Go to psp.network to watch those games. The first one, Legacy and Bismarck. What do you think about that matchup?
Legacy Bismarck, you see, that's one where I think Bismarck has really struggled here as of late. The end of the season, and so far even in this tournament, despite picking up that win over Jamestown, things have been a struggle for Bismarck High. But what better way to just say, hey, we need to go 1-0 today. The other 23 games so far this year matter so little right now for the Bismarck High Demons. And they're a team that I think just the system they play, they can really turn things around. Legacy, on the other hand, they were just stuck in the mud against Mandan yesterday. From the start of the game, couldn't get past the press. And guess what? Bismarck High is going to throw that press at them all game long. It's on the Sabres start here in the state qualifier game.
We talked about South Dakota. Brooklyn Felkley, she's going to be there next year. I mean, she's going to have a big game. This is her going out party almost.
Yeah, well, it could be, or you can guarantee yourself 3 more games as a Legacy Sabre, so that's going to be definitely an impact for Legacy. But I also think it's just the guard play. We always say this about Legacy. They need to find a third scorer. They need to find somebody that can handle the basketball. Falcon was doing it a lot, and that kind of took away from her scoring ability. Getting open on the three-point line yesterday against Mandan, just didn't hit many big perimeter shots.
And then one of the most intriguing matchups of the day, Minot High versus St. Mary's, a game that just screams a team that has everything to lose and a team that has nothing to lose.
You know, St. Mary's, looking back at last year, first-year head coach Ty Terry, they are a tournament team. They always show up here in the event center. And that first-round game against Mandan, again, a very tough matchup for what St. Mary's wants to play. But to redeem yourself against Williston last night, who is kind of, you know, the team that's in St. Mary's place today was there yesterday. Minot High, of course, you have to answer. You have to have the confidence back. And honestly, you know, a lot of people are going to look at that and say, wow, Minot High should roll, right? One of the last times they played, St. Mary's up at Minot when Lely scored her 2,000th point. St. Mary's was right there. They had a lead all throughout the first half, gave it up after they got into foul trouble, so that is not going to be an easy task for Minot.
Let's take a look at those highlights from that great Century Minot High game right now. And Owen, you nailed it. It was all of these players that usually score 10 to 15, they were just going off for Century.
Yeah, and none more than Zoe Austin.
Oh.
And right away, our Northern Plains senior keys to the game with Bryce Skunig, I said, no fear.
Yeah.
Century has to drive into the lane. Minot High's rolling out this 3-2 zone. It looks different than what anybody's seen in the WDA all year long. And Zoe Austin said, it doesn't matter if they throw out 3-2. It doesn't matter if they throw out man-to-man. If I have to drive against Lely Bell, and Minot actually switched where Lely was guarding Zoe Austin all second half, it did not matter. 31 points for Zoe in that semifinal.
You know, as much as everybody's talking about Minot losing yesterday, I'm excited to watch them today because you know you have a great team when they step up in these big games like this. I expect a big game from Eve Knutson, a big game from Lely Bell, and some of these other ones, whether it's going to be Aberley, whoever it's going to be, they should be able to get some open shots. And when the defense collapses down on Lely kicks out, hit those open shots.
Yeah, well, you just know Lely's going to give you 20 in a game. And what was missing yesterday was some of those key perimeter shots for Minot High. You always used to see a Kinley Barch, probably 2 or 3. You know, that's a lot of expectations to hold up to. And Knutson didn't really get going at all in the shooting department. And another thing for Minot High, we always say they're so good at passing the basketball. A lot of missed opportunities with open shooters there around the lane, especially in that second half in the last 2 minutes.
Yeah, it's been a fun day here, fun weekend, if you will. It's been a lot of basketball already, my guy. We're gonna talk now. Let's watch some highlights from this Legacy Mandan. Mandan, how about them? I mean, just coming out of the woodworks and really playing their best basketball this weekend.
You want to talk about a team that is just determined to do whatever it takes to win a game and get to state. They have been so close so many times recently. They've lost the last 3 years, state qualifier loss, state qualifier loss, state qualifier loss. And we interviewed McKenna Johnson. That's coming up here shortly. A very passionate interview she gave because Mandan is going to state because they played defense for that whole game. The offense was a little bit spotty at times, a couple of turnovers, right back to Legacy. They were challenged in the lane, of course, with the size of Brooklyn Felkley, but you take a look at a shot like that. That really put Mandan up early in the second half, and they just held on to that lead long enough. They knew it was going to be a battle the whole way through and just had the defense the whole way to beat Legacy.
Playing with confidence. Defense wins championships?
Well, yeah, I think in this WDA Girls Tournament, that's absolutely the case. Mandan, if they play defense like that against Century, you know, Zoe's hot right now, but it'll definitely do good things for them.
Anna, you're going to state. How good does this feel, young lady?
Yeah, that was my uncle all the way here from New Hampshire. It just feels super awesome. You know, the 5 years I've been playing varsity, I haven't made it. So, I mean, it's just as exciting of making it to the WDA Championship, but, you know, state's a little bit.
Her ability to block shots is one of the greatest things I've seen a female athlete do. I mean, I had them in the opening round, and it was just block. It was like Dikembe Mutombo, the female version. I mean, seriously, she just block. It's a block party Mandan's hosting.
23 games this season, 80 blocks for McKenna Johnson.
We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll be right here live from the Bismarck Civic Center. We're going to talk about the boys' action, Owen and myself, and maybe even a possible big guest. Stay tuned.
Facing disaster, it's not just the things we lose, but the memories. But there's hope. ServPro, with decades of experience in Minot and Bismarck, is always ready. Our certified professionals don't just restore homes, they rebuild lives. Because to us, you're not just a client, you're family.
Morning, my name is Dallas Hansen. You're watching PSP Primetime, a new thing we're doing live from the Bismarck Civic Center. We're kind of tailoring off of NBA on TNT or like College Game Day, something like that. It's only going to get better with time, so appreciate you joining us here today. Don't forget about all the action tonight it's going to be on PSP Plus. Where you can find that, might be a question, is go to psp.network. On there, you'll be able to find all the action we have. Not only are we going to have WD action for tonight, but also you're going to be covering this. I'm very jealous, but you're going to have Region B boys basketball, Region A boys and girls basketball. But how about that region in Class B? West Hope, Bishop Ryan, our Redeemers, Velva. Now, hold the phone. We're going to bring in the other district. You got the Young Ray Jays coming to town. Powers Lake. Oh, my goodness. For a Class B guy like you, that's going to be it's heaven.
Yeah, I'm just spending my time here in Bismarck before we get to that region tournament is really how I think of it. That is going to be a lot of fun Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and the state qualifier Saturday from the Minot Auditorium. You're talking about Ray. How about a team that was on PSP Network early in the year, so you might have got to see them, but if you didn't, please tune in, watch the Ray Jays. That is the future of Class B basketball in North Dakota.
Yeah, I mean, they got a freshman, Ty Barman, that's dunking over everybody. I mean, he's alley-oops. It's phenomenal. Let's get back to WDA action right here. We're going to look at the boys' side of things. Let's start off with our loser-out games. And yesterday we saw Mandan beat Jamestown, and it was the Gray Bull drinking Red Bull show. He was just on fire, and they won 76-62, but Jamestown hung around for a while.
Yeah, Jamestown not just hung around, they pushed the pace there in the first half. They were leading almost the entirety of that early part of the game, and we're looking up there in the corner and saying, Mandan, come on. Mandan, come on. What is going on here in the postseason again? But honestly, Jamestown, a very talented team. I think Jamestown, Minot North, kind of those two outsiders looking in, I think in a lot of people's eyes this year, but you got a kid like Thomas Newman, one of the best scorers in the WDA. Good things are going to happen for the Blue Jays. It just wasn't long enough, and Mandan eventually got through with a win.
And then we saw a first-year program, Minot North. It was a good first year, but they come up short against a very gritty and very talented Dickinson High basketball team.
Yeah, the Minot North Sentinels, despite going 0-for-2 in their first WDA tournament, winning that play-in game to get here, that was a really good sign, I think, for Coach Hischlin, what his team did. Obviously, you get a tough draw in the first round of Minot High, and you got to get everybody scared. You get people on the edge of their seat in that game, obviously ends in a loss. Same thing kind of happening in the Dickinson game. They were right there step for step with the Midgets until they weren't in the last 3 minutes. So that's the goal for next year for Minot North. Pick up a win, and I think state qualification is definitely in their future for just a year from now.
And then Century against Legacy. We touched on it right away this morning, but Century, let's watch some of these highlights because it was fun basketball. Kibbe, Kinnebrew, Kemple, Nisley, they got the boys running.
Oh, yeah. TD and Joe Cattell, they have had fun calling all these dunks in the postseason. But Century in the first half, could they miss? I don't think they did in the first half of this game. And when Century is feeling that good about their offense, they are just tough to catch up to and tough to even stay on the floor with. They simply just got Legacy out of that game as early as possible. And the second half comeback just not close to enough for Legacy.
Coach Mattern, I'm sure, is going to be very happy. And it's going to be tough when Gibby Kinnebrew's hitting those kind of jumpers. Everybody thinks, oh, he's this high flyer, just plays around the rim. No. He's got an outside game this year. You got to guard him outside.
Century really just has everything, don't they? I mean, this is a WDA championship team. The thing is, they got to prove it. 3 nights in a row, you got to go 3-0. They've accomplished the first 2 tasks there, and I know they understand what Bismarck High brings. Century just snapped quite a losing streak to Bismarck High at the end of the regular season, so definitely a game where they understand what's coming up against them. But Century's got the confidence through Thursday and Friday to really cement themselves one of the best teams to come out of the West.
They do all the little things right. You just saw right there, one of their shooters shoots a shot, doesn't make it, they get the offensive board. He's already cutting the basket, boom, 2 points. Hey, back on defense. I mean, look at the pump fake here, up and under, and one basketball. That's right there. That's what's gonna get you to win a state championship. Let's move forward here as we take a look at a couple more of our highlights right here on PSP Prime. It was Minot High against Bismarck High, and I will say this, probably the game of the day. And back and forth, but Bismarck High just too much towards the end.
Yeah, and again, how you start these games, very important in the event center. It didn't look like the lights were too bright for Bismarck High in the semifinal. This is a championship rematch from last year. Yeah, you get a dunk right there by Schaefer. Wincheski in the second half went absolutely crazy from beyond the three-point line for Minot. But at the end of the game, we talked about it early on in the show, Dallas, Bismarck High went to #1, and #1 paid off.
Yeah, and right here you're going to see Eric Wincheski making some moves. Peyton Shell from Mandan. I mean, that one was deep. How about PS?
Peyton Shaw, I mean, he's an incredible player this year. Extremely talented on the offensive, defensive side. He's just one of those guys that you don't get to play against every day. There's really nobody like him in the state of North Dakota, so such a challenging matchup.
It's one of the softest touches when he shoots the basketball. I mean, it's if you're a youngster watching, that's a kid to watch and play after. But Andre Austin takeover, you see him right there driving, and we're about to see that in the second half when Coach Wilhelm just called for ISO after ISO for him.
Yeah, and again, Minot, very good job staying in this game. Again, early.
Oh, yeah.
They, they could have let Bismarck High pull away there in the first half, but that is not just the Minot High way to do things. And D. Wincheski, he was getting in some people's ears there on the sideline to get this Minot High team back in the game. But yeah, Austin just in a different zone here in the last 9 minutes of the game.
That's going to look good in a Marauder jersey next year.
Well, I mean, as someone who's going to be covering Minot State games, I guess I'll have to admit it. But yeah, no, he's going to take you married to some pretty good places.
Here's where Minot, they continue to battle back. You look at Peyton Shell, and here's where you're talking about Wincheski again.
Yeah, Wincheski in the second half, he was saving Minot High a lot. Just big shot after big shot. Remember, he went out for a while in the first half with an injury, returned, and just never lost his shooting form.
That one's deep again, and Eric Wincheski going to Dickinson State next year. I know Coach Selvig was in the house last night watching his future player. What that brings us to, watch this, and this is where, again, Wilhelm, just Andre Austin, go ahead, go, go, go.
Yeah, now we go from the Minot High versus Bismarck highlight reel to simply the Andre Austin highlight reel to close out this game for Bismarck High. And I was down there in the tunnel right next to the Bismarck student section, Bismarck bench for the last 3 minutes of the game, and they were a pumped-up team.
And it's not just Andre Austin, Kalik Austin as well, his younger brother.
And you just see how much it means to Bismarck High to get a win. And that's every night. Bismarck High, they play so passionately on a basketball court. And to get to that championship game, give yourself a chance at a WDA championship. And most of all, secure a spot at state as well for Bismarck High.
Well, we promised you there'd be a big guest coming on, and we got him. He's big in our life. It's our boss, the PSP headmaster, the man of the hour, Nick Holberg. Welcome on to PSP Prime. This was kind of a brainchild of ours for a long time. It's good to see it come alive here. I'm very, very happy with the product.
Good job to you, my friend. Yeah, this was your idea from the start, and a little extra work, but to promote these kids the way that we are, I think is fantastic. I do have to say, the amount of work that you guys have done on the entire staff here this entire week at the WDA, I don't know if people understand how much actually goes into this whole thing. But really, whoever cut those highlights up, I'm just a little bit upset that they didn't get my conversation with Jordan Wilhelm at the end of the ballgame.
How was that?
Did you not catch what he had to say to me?
What did he say?
Bismarck High in the last 11 matchups against Minot High is 1-10 in those last 11 matchups.
Yeah.
And when I brought it up to Coach Wilhelm, by the way, Bismarck High was my pick to win the state title from the start of the year this year, which rustled some feathers, of course, obviously. But bringing that up, I talked to Wilhelm after the game on the court. I did the interview with him, and I just said, Minot High's had your number for a handful of years here now, and it feels pretty good to get the win against them. And Willie stopped me dead in my tracks and just said, we beat him last year, just so you know.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man, get with it. Anyway, it was a genius conversation, a genius game, and I don't know. I don't think there's anything really better than WDA semifinal night, though, is there? For those situations, those games, you punch your ticket into not only a WDA title game, but into the state tournament as well. And those conversations with guys like that, or Andre Austin, razzle dazzle after the game, really makes this whole thing worth all the time and effort, doesn't it?
Well, 1,000% does, but you see so many collegiate players for next year that are going to be playing here, and it's so fun for young basketball players to come to a tournament like this, see how special it is, and see where all this hard work can get you.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. I mean, what a mecca for a college coach to come in and have an opportunity to recruit. We're going to talk to one of those gentlemen here in just a moment after the break before we set up the championship round here today that starts. Got to get you guys on the air here pretty shortly as well for prime time. But, yeah, fantastic work here, gentlemen. I'll let you get back to doing what you do. I'm going to get back to the Starbucks here because we're ready for a little bit of that. And I can't can't tell you guys how great of a job you've done all week. It's been a real joy to listen to all you guys.
Well,
for sure.
Owen, what do you have anything to say to Nick Holbert? Because, I mean, what a great job he's done. He talks about us, but it's really all him. I mean, he's back there on the computer all day.
I mean, giving us a shot. This is our WDA debut, and he's got us on the prime time. Dallas, we must be doing something right.
I know. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, another guest here on PSP Prime. Don't go anywhere.
When facing disaster, it's not just the things we lose, but the memories. But there's hope. ServPro, with decades of experience in Minot and Bismarck, is always ready. Our certified professionals don't just restore homes, they rebuild lives. Because to us, you're not just a client, you're family.
This presentation on the PSP Network is proudly brought to you by Make sure to like and follow the PSP Network on all social media platforms and hit that subscribe button on YouTube. PSP Network. It's game day.
Today.
Welcome back to the Bismarck Civic Center right here on PSP Prime. Don't forget tonight, all the action and more on PSP Plus. Go to psp.network. A guest that we are very happy to have today. It's Casey Bruggeman, the Jamestown boys head coach. How does it feel? Thank you for coming on. How's it feel to be back at the WDA, my friend?
This is awesome, isn't it? I mean, the environment's here. I walked in the door about 20 minutes ago, and people are lined out, ready to come in and catch a full day of hoops. So thanks for having me on, guys.
I have a couple questions, and I know you have a few, but let's start off with Jamestown this last year. Tell us a little bit about your season and how it went.
Yeah, it's a fun first year for me as a head coach there. It's a great university, great program there. We have awesome facilities. If fans around the state have seen that, our Harold Newman Arena is one of the nicest arenas in the country. So beautiful space for us to compete in every day. I thought we had a pretty successful year one for us. We made it to the conference tournament championship game against Dickinson State, who has a heck of a ball club, and they're still playing. And if anyone has a chance to watch them play in the national tournament next week, that'd be an awesome opportunity to see some basketball there. But fun first year for me, and great to be back at the WDA. I mean, I'm walking in, and you can smell the popcorn, and it's a scene here, and to have the two courts when you head over to the exhibit hall. I mean, how awesome is that for a fan? How awesome is that for a college coach to be able to come here and enjoy that? And just, this is March. This truly is March.
I saw Coach Selvig was in the building yesterday, but Scott Gymnasium at Dickinson State, that was the most fans they've had in that gym in a long time. How was that coaching in that game? Because it looked like an exciting atmosphere.
It was a great college basketball game. Unfortunately, it didn't end the way we wanted to, but it's one of those games where we have so much respect for Coach Selvig and how they do things there, and just that environment to be able to play in. That's something our guys are going to remember for the rest of their lives, and just fun. It's fun to see fans come out and support their local teams, just like we've seen here over the weekend at WDA.
Owen?
Well, you've got a big future ahead of you now at Jamestown, moving up to the Division II level. I got to call your guys' game when you came to the MSU Dome against Minot State earlier in the year, and now you guys are going to be coming in there as a conference opponent to Minot State. Talk about the transition that you're leading there for the Jimmies.
It'll be fun. You know, I was at UMary as a grad assistant for Joe Cattell for 2 years, and then I spent 4 years at the University of Minnesota Duluth, so there's some familiarity with the conference. It's one of the best in the country, top to bottom. I mean, you look at it this year, how many teams were either at 20 wins or right up there to 20 wins. And it's going to be fun going up to places like Minot every year, going to Mary, Moorhead, Northern, all those local opponents for us. And it's a great opportunity for our university, great opportunity for our community to have Division II basketball, another Division II basketball team in the state.
Well, hey, we're really excited for it. Owen, you got any other questions?
That was it.
You as a head coach, when you're looking at this past year, a lot of success now going in the offseason, your mentality as a head coach to keep this program building up further and further forward, what is your mentality when you're trying to build some up like this?
You know, I think you always got to start with relationships first. You pour into your relationships with your current players and the people that work on your staff, and then you come here, you get a chance to talk to some coaches, get a chance to talk to some players, and it's just fun to always start at that baseline level of relationships and making sure you have solid relationships in state. And that's why it's important to be at the WDA, to be at a great event like this. And the stars come out to play at the WDA, and that's been fun to watch the games yesterday, and I'm excited to see the games again today.
Century or Bismarck in the championship, who are you taking?
You know, I'm not one to make predictions.
Oh, come on.
I'm looking forward
to PSP Pride, baby.
I'm looking forward to a great game. That's what I'll say. I'm looking forward to a great game.
Appreciate you coming on, my friend. We'll be right back after a quick break right here on PSP Prime.
Whether you're looking for a full-service financial plan or planning for farm or business succession, Planning Team Financial Advisors is here to help you work toward achieving your financial goals. With locations in Bismarck, Garrison, and Center, our full-service team of professionals are dedicated to helping you work towards achieving your financial goals. Visit us online, planningteam.com.
Securities offered through LPL Financial, member of FINRA SIPC. Investment advisory services offered through New Edge Advisors, LLC, a registered investment advisor. New Edge Advisors, LLC, and Planning Team Financial Advisors are separate entities from LPL Financial.
Finding the right bank can be transformative for your small business. The best bank for your business will offer competitive fees and so much more. At BNC National Bank, our team is proud to offer you a helpful, supportive, above and beyond banking relationship. Starting to stress about the complexities of qualifying for a small business loan? BNC can guide you through the process with much less stress and likely far more success. Speak to one of our team members today. Member FDIC.
Welcome back to PSP Prime. My name is Dallas Hans alongside Owen Patterson. We're going to make some predictions now. A game start in about 30 minutes. Our show, me and Chuck will be on. Really excited for that, for the couple loser out games. But let's talk about championship basketball. Century, Mandan, who are you picking and why?
Well, first of all, Bryce Gutnick always tells me I'm wrong with my picks here, but from what I saw from Bismarck Century yesterday, just the way they consistently went at the basket, it's going to be the same story against Mandan. They have McKenna Johnson in the middle. We already talked about her 80 blocks this year, but if Century isn't scared again, if Zoe Austin can pull off that trick a second time, I love the Patriots' chances. Foslin brings an extra energy as well, and hey, you get Lakin Johnson for a three, Addie Weigel for a three, that could set Century apart. I do like the Patriots tonight, just feeding off that momentum for the semis.
The block party continues. I'm taking Mandan. Let's roll to the next one here. We got the boys championship. This is going to be phenomenal. Our guest picker didn't make a pick. That's all right. I totally get where he was coming from. But who are you taking, Century, Bismarck?
You know, I think that first game, if the Century girls are able to win that championship, I think that carries so much into the boys' game. Century's a team that is playing loose. They're playing very fun basketball at the moment. But then you've got Bismarck High. And we said it earlier today. Every day is a WDA championship in their eyes. I know they're coming out to play today. How many does Andre need to score? I don't really think that's much of a question because Bismarck High has so many alternative scores. Is this the freshman, Kalik Austin's coming out game tonight? I don't know. That's the big question, though. I have too many question marks for Bismarck High, taking the Patriots to sweep championship night.
Have you ever heard of the story David versus Goliath?
I have.
Goliath had everything. David had not too much. That's what's going to happen tonight. I love Coach Matter and I love Century, but it's Willie Wilhelm and the fellas from Bismarck High. The Demons take the W tonight, and they take the WDA championship. Thank you for joining us right now on PSP Prime. Owen Patterson, myself, Dallas Hansen. Shout out to Nick Holberg for doing all the producing. We're going to be live on PSP Plus in about 20 minutes. Go to psp.network to make that purchase. And do not miss out. I repeat, do not miss out in what is going to be fun basketball tonight. Thank you, and we will see you in about 20 minutes.
Our stylists are trained to understand the nuances of cutting men's hair. Less pomp, more adore, huh, Brittany?
Square face, wavy hair.
Mid-fade with a textured top. Finish it off with a hard part and taper that neckline, Coach.
Cowlick, what's the move? It's not just all about hard work here.
Hit all. 7. Pressure. Points. Yeah.
It takes expertise to be a sport clip stylist.
Here?
That's a spot. Right there, huh?
Sport Clips, the pros in men's hair.